there were still nights where I would come home and feel lonely, and I would have to give it to God. And I didn't like to feel vulnerable, to be honest. As a woman, I'm like, I'm strong and I don't need this and I don't need that. It really took me time to be vulnerable, to say, I do feel lonely. I do, feel this way. Or I wasn't a virgin. So I was like, there was times where I was like, I feel sexually excited. I don't know what to do with this energy. Like, there were times where I had to just be real with myself and real with God. And I think I had to really get to the place of brokenness, like completely broken, to be like, Lord, I need your help in this area. And it took me a little time, but, I had a relationship with God, which is great. And, my mom taught me how to pray and how to intercede and those types of things. And so I really did know how to go. I knew how to go to his throne room and like pray and pour out my heart to him. But I really had to just get over myself and be like, Lord, I really need help in this area. I feel lonely. And there was times of crying. I used to hate to cry. Like, I had to really just take the covers off, take the masks off, because I just had that I'm a strong woman type of demeanor. And I had to learn how to be real with my emotions, real with myself, real about where I was in life. And that changed depending on the day sometimes. Like, I might go to a wedding and then feel sad because now everybody's like, why are you still single? Or everybody had a date there and I didn't. Like, I had to really mature and get strong in the Lord and in his word and knowing who I was. That when I went to weddings, I was fine. And I didn't care if I was long. And it was good. And it was like, stop trying to hook me up with these counterfeits. I'm good. And I'm going home by myself. Yes. And I'm okay with that. Like, I got that spiritual toughness in me because I was like tired of being sad about it. Tired of allowing people's questions to make me feel bad about it. I just got really strong in the Lord. And I was like, I'm good. And when people asked, I'm like, yeah, I'm single, but I'm okay. Like, and I let people know, family, friends, everybody, to the point I was so bold about it, they just completely stopped asking. They're like, oh, leave her alone about that because she gonna come at you. I'm like, I sure am gonna come for you with the word because I know where I'm at and I'm not gonna let your words, and they didn't mean harm, they loved me, but it's where they were. I'm not gonna let your words distract me or make me sad or feel lonely or be conscious that, oh, shoot, I'm 30 now. So what? Oh, I'm past 30 now. I'm 40, I'm 50. So what? That has nothing to do with God's plans for your life. Time and age, that's this carnal stuff. That's this earthly stuff. We're kingdom citizens. We have to have a heavenly mindset. God ain't caring about that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I had to just get to a place of complete brokenness, taking my mask off and being like, Lord, I need your help. And I'm going to put this plug in. I'm going to be real. I don't know what some of you guys feel about this, but to be honest, if I wasn't filled with the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, and didn't understand how to operate and praying in the Spirit, I don't think I would have met my husband. I don't to truly live like pure before the Lord and deal with my loneliness and get so strong in him. I don't think I'd have been able to do it without being able to pray in the Spirit, because there was times where I was under attack, spiritual attack, and I had to go for it. I had to go for all I know. I had to fight for my life because I wanted to be pure. I wanted to prove that a single woman can live for God, could be completely pure, didn't have to be doing impure things, didn't have to be with men, didn't have to be doing impure things to herself. Like, I really had to warfare in the Spirit, because there is an enemy. You may not believe it or not. That don't mean it's true. It's an enemy. I've encountered him on plenty of times. There is a Satan, and he doesn't want you to live for God. He doesn't want you to be pure. He doesn't want you to meet your husband, that man of God he has for you, and he doesn't want you guys to meet your destiny, and he doesn't want you to be an example for other people to show that God is real, his glory is real, his blessings is real, that his promises will come true. He doesn't want any of that, and he hates you because you're a daughter of Christ. He hates you because you're a child of God, and he doesn't want you to have a good life. Point blank, period. And so because of that, you have to know how to fight spiritually. Yes, read your word. Make sure you're in a church. Right now, you can't be in a church. Listen to a church. So get the word in you and learn how to read the word. And then learn how to pray. And then when those feelings come, because when I was under some of these attacks, I didn't know how to deal with it. I'm going to keep it real. I did not know how to deal with it. And specifically with the sexual stuff, I just didn't know. No one taught me. I didn't understand how to reverse some of the things that I had did. Even though my heart and my mind, I didn't want to do it, I was still having the demonic thoughts, the perverse thoughts, still having those urges. And I'm like, where are they coming from? Like, and it's the enemy out there. I really had to learn how to fight spiritually. And one thing that I can say about that, because a lot of people have been hitting me up about purity, is that you will crave what you feed yourself. And I do talk about purity in a chapter in my Single and Satisfied book, but I'm going to do a complete book on purity because I get so many questions. You're going to crave what you feed yourself. So if you're listening to sexual music, you're going to crave sexual things, okay? If you're listening to music that makes you feel sexy, I know we like our girl power music that makes us feel sexy, but if you're not married, nah, you don't need to be listening to that. It's just the truth. You're going to be feeling like you want to show somebody your goodies. It's just the truth. There's certain artists, y'all know, that when you listen to their music, it's all like woman empowering, but it make you want to go, show all your goodies to somebody. It gets you in that sexy sexual mood. You don't need that. And the truth is, how bad do you want your purity? How bad do you want your wholeness? How bad do you want to be free from the spirit of lust and perversion and pornography or whatever you might be, or fornication, having sex outside of marriage? How bad do you want it? And you have to be real with yourself. I got to the point, y'all, I was like, I would do whatever it takes. I would do whatever it takes to be pure, to live holy unto God, to, rid myself of those past soul ties. And I did whatever it took. Like, I didn't watch any movies that had sex scenes. I wasn't watching them. I definitely wasn't watching pornography, but any movies that had sex scenes, I wasn't watching those. If I seen this kissing, even kissing, y'all, I got strict with it. I fast forwarded that. I'm like, I can't handle that, because even with kissing that might seem innocent, sometimes I watch those love stories and then it make me be sad. Like, oh, I wish I had that. If it's making you, ain't nothing wrong with like romantic shows and stuff, but I'm saying like, if it's making you feel like that at the moment, fast forward it or turn it off. You have to pay attention to your spirit. You have to pay attention to that, because it will start to be sensitive to things. If you're listening to the Holy Spirit, it will show you like, don't watch that today. And maybe tomorrow you can watch it. Now I'm talking about just romantic comedy now. If it's like porn, you never need to watch that. But like maybe, you can watch that. And there were times where I could watch, I'm a romantic. I love watching romantic comedies and romance. I watch it all the time. For the most part, it didn't bother me. It made me optimistic. I was a very, I always call it a hopeful romantic instead of hopeless. So I love to watch it. But then there were seasons in my life where it made me sad and more conscious that I was single. So I didn't watch it. So you have to be sensitive to what you need. If you feed yourself something, you're going to desire it. So if you're hanging around your girls who always talking about sex and somebody and whatever, this man and that man, that spirit gonna jump off on you, boo. Like, you gonna be talking about it and thinking the way they're thinking. You need to be around people who love God, who know who they are, and who are willing to wait for God, who don't want to be hoeing around and they think that's waiting on God. You ain't waiting around for God. He ain't working in that mess. You hoeing around, you're not really waiting on God, but you're like, oh, God gonna send my husband. Now, God may have grace. I've known situations where they wasn't about the right and God sent a godly man and things turned around. But why would you even put yourself in that situation? Because that's not a guarantee. And why would you even want to have all them spirits and soul ties around you and in you anyways? Because I guarantee you that's going to come up in your marriage. It will. Stuff comes out in marriage, honey, that you would never have even imagined. It will come out. You want to get a lot of stuff. You want to get pure. You want to get that stuff out. You want to give it to God. You want to say, God, purify me, God. I want to be pure. Ask God, Lord, show me, purify me, put me around the right people, the right places, the right resources. I need to be pure. And so what you feed yourself, you will crave. So I started starving myself, not eating, but spiritually. I started starving myself. Your eye gates, your ear gates. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? That music, deleted all that stuff off my playlist. I'm gonna be real with you. I deleted all secular music, period. I was like, I'm done. Like, for me, it was so serious to be whole. I was tired of being a slave to all of those things. So I did what was necessary. People ain't gotta understand what you're doing. You ain't even gotta tell people. It's your life, it's your purity, it's your soul, it's your spirit, it's your relationship with God, it's your future. So you have to take accountability for yourself. And again, if you need accountability, get an accountability partner. I did. I got my sister at the time. She's my older sister, and girl, if I did go out on a date, she's my accountability partner. I'm supposed to be done at this time. You gonna call me, make sure I'm at home, because if not, I might be in somebody's house. Like, I was real, because it was a time I was struggling, and I had to be real with myself and say, I may want to do right, like the words say, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. I may want to do right, but find myself weak and just can't handle it. And so I need accountability. And you might be like, I'm a grown woman. Yeah, grown woman, but you just ain't strong enough. It ain't got nothing to do with being grown. You need some accountability. You need some help. Especially if you are addicted to something like porn, you need accountability. Don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. People are dealing with this stuff. This is real life stuff. And we don't want to talk about this stuff in the church, but it's killing us from the inside out. And we got to be real about it. You don't need to be getting information from the world and they're giving you the wrong information. We need to talk about it in the church, because we need deliverance. We need healing. And God has that for us. But we first have to recognize we got issues and this ain't right. And we need help. And God, he has it for you. He loves you. He has the help for you. But we have to be real. So don't be ashamed, y'all. I know some of y'all going through. It ain't nothing new. Ain't nobody been through. I've been through most of it. And when I tell you that God is a healer and a deliverer, he absolutely is. But you do got to take accountability for your own soul, your actions. You have to say enough is enough. And if you fall, get back up, ask God to forgive you, keep it moving. He loves you. He is not condemning you. He just wants you to get it right so that you can be whole, so that you can get everything that he has for you, because he has great things for you. And God ain't up there checking a list. She ain't do this. She did that. She did that. No, God is like, oh my God, my daughter, I want you to be healed. I want you to be delivered. I want you to be free. I have so much for you, so much for your life. I have so much joy and peace and promises I want to give you, but you got to be ready for them.